Hello there, it's Mallory again. I think I want to do another Oracle deck heavy reading. So we're just going to pull a ton of Oracle decks and see what we pull. Not that many. Do one more. Okay, we're doing two more. Oh wow, alright. That seems fun. We got 7. It's gonna be a long reading. And it's obviously gonna be romance themed. It's got 2 decks that I'm not hugely fond of, and I'm probably gonna pull the cards out after this run with them and actually just use them when I decide to use them. Once I get more comfortable with them, probably. But what tarot deck are we gonna use for this reading? Give me a good one, please. Give me one that'll help make sense out of all these cards together. The Tarot of the Owls. I pulled out 2. Do I want to use 2, or do I want to look at this, or no? We're not going to use the second one. The second one was Dreams of Gaia. Yeah, we will. Okay. So we got Tarot of the Owl and Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and then we have Less Vampires, Love Tarot, which is an Oracle deck, Cosmic Oracle Tarot, which is also an Oracle deck, the Romance Angels, Victoria Francis, which is like a shadow work deck, Beyond Lemuria Oracle, and the Citadel. So we're gonna see what happens. Thanks for sticking around for 2 minutes. I will be back after I have prepped all of these decks. Okay, I am back and the decks have been prepped. I said it was going to end up being a love reading because we had the Romance Angels and the Love Tarot, which again is an Oracle deck. Both of them are Oracle decks. But yeah, so let's get into it. What do the Romance Angels want the collective to know? We got you deserve love, you are lovable. And at the bottom we got retreat, it's time to disconnect from the world. I'm going to read the you are lovable card. I think it's safe. The Romance Angels are cheering you on in your quest for great love by letting you know that you deserve it. As a child of God, you are naturally a loving and lovable person, as is everyone. You have the right to be treated with kindness and respect by everyone in your life. If you've had harsh life experiences, you may have blamed yourself and felt unworthy of receiving affection. This card is a reassurance that you do deserve it. You're a beautiful being of God's pure love and light, no matter what any person has said or done to you, and no matter what happened in the past. God's handiwork can never be undone. The more you affirm, I am lovable, I am loved, I am loving, the more this experience comes true for you. Affirmations help you believe spiritual truths at a deep, unconscious level. This, in turn, allows you to attract loving people, relationships, and circumstances. And you definitely deserve that. So, let's go ahead and just see what this deck has to say. So I always feel like this deck is written in a way where it's like other people talking to you. But today we're going to read it where you're talking to someone else or maybe even just yourself. So at the bottom we got I feel lost without you. So maybe you feel lost from a past love. But then we also got you hurt me. Everything that happened hurt me so much. I need more time to heal. So I'm guessing you're feeling pretty hurt, pretty lost. You want time to heal. But the romance angels want you to know that you deserve love. You wholeheartedly, absolutely deserve love. So on that note, we're going to go into the Victoria Francis deck. I'm just going to put these over here since we used them. What am I doing? This is like a shadow deck, so we'll just see what comes out. Woo, buddy. So I'm not going to go into it and read it, but at the bottom of this deck, we got number 11, so I just wanted to see what the keywords were. And that's beauty, healing, and kindness. So I would say you are on your path to healing. Even though you think you need more time to heal, you're on that path. You're doing it right now. And then we got card number 33. The second journey, boundaries, independence, and bravery. Do you sometimes feel everyone takes a piece of you and you end up carrying the burden of others? It can be a lonely place catering for other people's needs, but it's time to put yourself first. It is often harder than it sounds to be your own priority, but it's time to put boundaries in place and learn to say no. There may be a particular person who places demands upon you, and it will require a certain amount of diplomacy in order to take a step back. If there is a lack of respect for who you are and how much you do, this needs to change. Start to make small steps forward in creating the life you want, not what others expect for you. You are independent, kind, yet sensitive. You can control your destiny, but you need to be brave and start making plans. So maybe that person who hurt you is still around, still kind of making jabs at you. What does the cosmic insights have to say about that? About boundaries and loving, putting yourself and loving yourself first. I said this was a love reading, but it sounds like it's a love reading to yourself. Learning to love yourself before seeking love from others. Then we got, yes, luck is on your side. I almost feel like that was a response to me saying it's about you learning to love yourself and put yourself first before trying to seek love in others. At the bottom we got distance. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. And underneath that, there was intimacy, sexual chemistry, and reminiscing. Do the romance angels have anything else to add? What happens once the collective realizes that they deserve love? They don't care what happens after that. They literally said, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So the focus here is really on you and loving yourself, learning how to love yourself, putting yourself before others. You're not going to find true happiness or the intimacy that you want until you learn to start putting yourself first, until you learn to start setting boundaries with people. What does Gaia have to say about that? So we got the 11 of air, and it says body and mind. Imagination, reality, fact, opinion, body, mind, open mind, narrow mind. Be open-minded in questioning. You're only limited by your mind. Be discerning. How is your mind affecting your body? How is your body affecting your mind? Facts are certainties. Opinions are not facts. We can only change ourselves. So if someone's not showing you the amount of respect that you want, and you're hoping and praying that they'll change so that your relationship can get better, you're the only one who can change yourself. You can't change them. But you can change how much you let them respect or disrespect you. And it all has to do with those boundaries. Then we got the 8 of fire, which is action, change, transformation, transmutation, rebirth, freedom, renewed purpose, and joy. Transformation through action, change on a physical level. It's time to act. Give something a new purpose. Transmute negative energy. A renewed sense of purpose. Don't be lazy. Inaction may yield unwelcome changes. So I feel like that's saying if you don't act and set these boundaries, things are just going to get worse for you. But if you learn to set those boundaries, if you learn to start changing yourself because you can't change others, then your whole situation is going to change. You're going to go from this blue, dark, dreary looking card to this fiery, hot action card. Like a whole phoenix. Did those? That one in a minute. Oops. What does the collective need to know? We got number 49, the infinite. Sorry, I always have to look over these ones and make sure there's not anything I need to censor. I've messed up a time or two before with this deck. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just the divination message. The divinatory meaning. This card of rebirth can appear after challenges that have required a level of surrender. You have arrived at a beginning. Revel in your newfound inner freedom. Blockages have fallen away, doors are opening, and there are opportunities to step into. Stretch your wings and see how far they can reach. Rise from the ashes like a phoenix. I just said that. Born anew, ready for a new cycle of growth. Celebrate, honor the road that brought you here, and prepare to take flight with the tools you have gathered through your elevation process. And those tools are self-love. Loving yourself so much that you're not scared to set boundaries. Talked all about, I did not all about, but I did mention the Phoenix. Love yourself so much that you're not afraid to set boundaries. That you put yourself first. And you demand that people respect you or move out of your way. And once you do that, you will become the Phoenix, you will have a rebirth, and the infinite will be possible. You'll basically be unstoppable. What does the collective need to know about their Phoenix journey? So we got outsider, misfit, loner, and wanderer. That's probably how you feel right now. It's number 22. I'm just going to read the blessing, the curse, and working with this card. You have been given the opportunity to find your own way and to see the world from a unique perspective. This will give you great creative, artistic, and spiritual opportunities. The curse, being outside the tribe, searching for home, a lack of comfort. Working with this card. Accepting the outsider's position for now, you can observe and watch and see and record. This will make you a valuable writer, artist, or teacher. Your unique perspective will be greatly valued. What does the Citadel have to say about the collective being an outsider? Oh, it always takes me forever to find them in this. There we go. That was quicker than I thought it would be. So we got the guide. And it says, inheritance and correction. Beneath the thundering echo of a waterfall, a bell rings, clear and compelling, commanding the attention of all close enough to hear. Almost without thinking, you feel your feet turn towards the waters and figure beneath. The guide has inherited their position, and the path they walk has been predetermined. It is their role to correct the mistakes made by their predecessor and to set things to rights. Give me a moment. There's ads going in the back. And oops. Oh, I guess I'm starting again. Where's my card? Here we go. Okay. You're in a situation that isn't ideal, but it's up to you to make the most of it. Holding a grudge against what led you here won't achieve anything. It's time to accept the cards you've been dealt. Once you're on the other side of this, you'll be better placed to reflect on what you've learned from the experience. But for now, it's time to put in some hard work and push through. So, or you know, maybe you fear becoming the outsider if you put up these walls. Boundaries, not really the walls, but the boundaries. Maybe you're afraid if you start making demands about your boundaries that you're going to lose everyone. And that's not always the case. And not to make light of it, but even if that were the case, it basically said, you'll come out okay. Like, it may seem a little strange at first, but being the outsider, especially from asserting your boundaries, that will give you the option to take a step back and look at everything. Look at how the people who have disrespected your boundaries maybe disrespect other people's boundaries. You know, it'll help you to learn, to focus, what truly works for you and what doesn't, what kind of people you want in your life and what kind you don't. But the important thing is that literally you deserve love. So if someone's treating you in a way that is not loving or kind, you deserve to put up that boundary, to stand up for yourself, and to demand that they either treat you in an acceptable way, or that they step away, or that you step away. Essentially, it's not, you're not changing their behavior. Either they can treat you right, or you're walking away. You know, you've got to love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself enough to stand up for yourself, and you just let somebody treat you poorly over and over and over again, they're not going to change. They're getting away with treating you how they want to treat you. And you haven't stood up for yourself, you know. You don't love yourself. I'm not saying you don't, but there's just a possibility that you don't love yourself enough to stand up for yourself. So if you don't do it, who's going to? You've got to love yourself first, especially if you're searching for that intimacy, for a real loving relationship. And you may feel like an outsider. You may be afraid of becoming an outsider if you stand up for yourself. But it'll just be a moment in time. And is a moment in time of being an outsider really as bad as years and years of mistreatment? I don't think it is. I was like, where'd my tarot cards go? Can I get a past, present, future? 3 cards for the collective. I wanted to flip that one automatically, but I didn't flip the others, so. Two of Wands, that's like kind of planning ahead, making decisions, looking ahead to make decisions, deciding which direction to go. Do you want to go down that path in the background, or do you want to go off in the side to the forest? I think right now that decision is, do you want to stand up for yourself? Do you want to love yourself? Or do you want to just continue sitting right there where you are? Okay, so the past, we have the 4 of Wands, which is like a happy home. It's stability. It's a celebration. It's a good time. Sometimes it's marriage. Present, we have the Ace of Swords, so that's, I mean, if you ask me, that's good. That's clarity. It's a breakthrough. It's coming to see the truth of a situation. Is this reading helping you come in to see the truth of a situation? I hope so. And then the future card. Okay. The future card. We got the Fool. So this is a new beginning. It's a completely new beginning. It is absolutely trusting that if you do something that scares you, that the universe will catch you. So if you decide to step off that stick, you're gonna fly. You're not gonna fall. And I think that's beautiful, and I think that bodes really, really, really well for the advice that we got in this reading about standing up for yourself and loving yourself first. It may seem scary because this is new beginnings, so if you're in a relationship, it might mean that the relationship is ending. And again, it may be scary because you may be afraid of being the loner or the outsider. But look, he's got a little squirrel in his pack. He's not alone, he's got friends. You won't be alone, you'll have friends. Heck, I know when I was in a bad relationship, I had like no friends because I didn't have time for friends. I was too busy trying to fix my bad relationship. Once I ended it, I had more friends. So, you know, if the situation is that you're in a poor relationship and you really just want to be treated right, start setting those boundaries. Either they will care for you enough that they listen to you, or you'll learn that they don't care, not about you. And you'll get a new beginning either way. Either they're going to listen to you and start listening to your boundaries and start, making you feel better in the relationship, or they will disregard those boundaries and you will leave and start brand new. Either way, it's going to seem brand new to you because you're going to finally be respected. Also, you're finally loving yourself, which just opens up so many more doors in your life. When you finally start loving yourself and putting yourself first, things in your world just seem to change dramatically because you're no longer just letting people step all over you. That's all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you have a beautiful day. I hope that you have a beautiful life. I love you. Goodbye.